Hey guys, long time no talk. It's been a while, a couple weeks since I uploaded a video. It's been a long journey. Well, right off the bat, I got my 30,000 miles. Oddly enough, I live in Kansas City. I'm on home time right now. I got some home time for Christmas. Um, Oddly enough, one of my last runs was to Lenexa, Kansas, just probably 30 miles away from where I'm at right now, and it was a Harry and David load out of Medford, Oregon, and they do like gift baskets for the holidays, variety of like chocolates, jerkies, nuts, fruits, all kinds of stuff for gift baskets. And I found out I was having Christmas at my parents' house, and my sister-in-law had some pears that she had gotten from her boss as part of a gift basket for work or something, and they were from Harry and David. And the ship date was December 15th, which is when me and my trainer picked up that load in Medford, Oregon. So we are pretty positive that I got to inherit the fruits of my labor, so to speak, in regards to my driving and hauling loads and stuff like that. So on my last load, I was able to come home and have something off the truck that I had delivered. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I got my 30,000 miles. We were sitting at a Conoco in Nebraska doing a switch over when we determined that this last load would be at my 30,000 miles. Um, my dad needed to get off of his previous trainer's truck for some unforeseen circumstances. I will go into more of that later. A lot of that is still a little fresh right now. We want to get through our stuff before we maybe talk about that situation. But he ended up, we were able to do a lot of finagling, call my fleet manager, talk to his fleet manager, and get him off the truck and onto my trainer's truck. So we were able to do a quick switcheroo. I got to Springfield on a Friday, so I wasn't able to really do anything as far as the upgrade process goes. So I went home for a couple days. It was my girlfriend's 40th birthday that weekend, so I wanted to come spend some time with her. Headed back out to Springfield Monday. Got all situated at Campus Inn. Hadn't stayed at Campus Inn yet. I'd done Best Western, and my dad had stayed at Lamplighter. Both okay. Best Western, I think was better, but I got stuck in. I think the newer wing of the Campus Inn had like a refrigerator and a microwave, and the rooms are a little bare, but the essentials are there. So I was able to do what I needed to do there. The upgrade process consists of, what was it, Tuesday morning, you go into the sim lab and you watch a couple safety videos. They do the whole distracted driving video. There was one about winter driving, just a variety of ways to keep track of stuff on the road. At that point, it kind of merged into a sim class. You run the simulator a couple times, couple random simulations. You're not graded on them, but he does talk to the group afterwards about how they did and what they should have noticed, and what a lot of people goof up on. And past that, it switched into, you have a backing sim you need to do. So it's a backing sim. The instructor tells you how to do it. He shows you a quick run through what you need to do. You have a practice run, and then you get your official run, but you have a 10-minute time limit. But he says if you nail it your first time, there's no sense doing it a second time. So I think everybody nailed it their first time, didn't need a second attempt. So he was able to kick everybody out of class pretty quick. That point, go back, have a little lunch, take a little time, start on your CBTs. There are more CBTs, and I would say at least a third of them are ones you already did in orientation. So you do that Pennsylvania fly one again. You do the security. You do the high value loads. You watch the pre-trip inspection video, which I had already watched a million times on YouTube before I did my CDL. So watch that again. There's a lot of new CBTs too that are more relevant to people who have made it through orientation, through getting their CDL, through their 30,000 miles, and now that they know that you're sticking with it and you're upgrading, you get some CBTs that are going to be more relevant to you on the road, like, you know, how to wrap your tires with chains, how to run a pre-trip on the reefer, and just a variety of things. So, got to do those, got to bust those out. But after lunch, you head to the Z building and you pretty much just camp out in their multi-purpose room. I think I was there for 3.5 hours. You start with a more in-depth logs class. Not a lot of that stuff was new to me. My trainer was really good about running his logs well and doing it the right way. I know a lot of people click that sleeper berth button, you know, will pair sleeper berth and just keep it clicked in. But from what I understand, if you do that, you're just racking up hours of service violations, and you have certain prerequisites you need to meet before you can actually pair a sleeper berth. So there's a lot of people that run that to keep their 14-hour clock from running down. You know, when they're sitting at a shipper or receiver or stuck somewhere, they'll go into will pair sleeper berth. But from what I understand, you're not supposed to do that. There are only certain situations where that is really achievable to meet the prerequisites that are required to actually click that. But past that, not a lot I learned. It was a little rough on the truck. You know, my trainer had to remind me once or twice, you know, when your hand hits that door, you know you're stopped for a certain period, a certain amount of time. You need to focus on going off duty, managing your clock, all that. So I required some reminding from him a couple times, but I'm hoping when I get out there, I won't need some reminding. I'm sure I'll have a goof up or two, but I'm going to do my best to keep any clock mismanagement from happening, because that's your lifeline out there. That's what keeps you moving and making money. At that point, yeah, you do the logs class, and then we move on to the automated transmission class, who was actually taught by the CDL instructor who finally passed me after that would have been my third attempt just on some stupid air brake test stuff. You know, so I get in my own head with the testing, but I eventually made it. I'm past that. It is what it is. So I would have already spent that bonus that they would have given me, but I got $75 for passing it. Anyway, I digress. Automated transmission class is based off of a Freightliner Cascadia, I believe, just talking about how the transmission works, how it will work for you, how you are not smarter than the truck, and all these computer systems that they have in these trucks nowadays that, you know, if it goes into neutral at the top of a hill, let it do its thing. It's saving fuel costs that if you're a lease operator, you will see a benefit from doing. And even if your company, you get fuel bonuses for managing your fuel well and going certain speeds. So it's always in your best interest to let the truck do its thing. I know, you know, you want to keep it up to at least 60 miles an hour to make 60 miles equal an hour, just to kind of work out all the time in your head. But you got to let the truck do its thing. You're going to get to where you're going. You know, from what I understand, all of our appointments are based off of running at 45 miles an hour. So you got time to get where you're going. And what do they say? There's no load so hot that it won't cool off in a ditch. So, you know, just manage your Jake brake. Don't do it in the snow or the rain. You know, no cruise control in the snow or the rain. And, you know, captain of your own ship. You know, if you feel it's unsafe to get off the road, get off the road, contact dispatch, do everything you can to communicate with the people that need to communicate with the customer. Because the more you communicate with dispatch and they can communicate with sales, better off you're going to be. From what I understand, the fleet managers and all that love people that communicate with them, even the mundane stuff. So got to stay up on that. Got through the automated transmission class, which was interesting. And then they had me go through, there's a guy from Abacus CPA who ran a little class. I was like one of 4 people in there, but it's about running a business and taxes, which I'm not sure why I was put into there, but I have an idea, which leads me into my next bit of information regarding, I am getting on a fleet operator's truck. I'm not sure if you call him a fleet operator. I think he only has one truck right now, but he posted something on Facebook on one of the, it was like Primetime Grinders or the PSD and TNT Prime Students page. I forget which one it was, but he posted that he's got a 2021, what was it, Peterbilt Ultraloft, that he's needing somebody to drive it because he is currently unable to drive for personal reasons. So that's why we were able to do the switcheroo with my dad so quickly, and I was able to get in for upgrade so quickly because I knew that I was getting on somebody else's truck and I wouldn't need to wait for a truck to become available. So at that point, I responded to the guy, let him know what my situation was, what my dad's situation was. You know, I talked to him about 6,000 miles before I got to my 30,000 miles. And I let him know, what our situations were, that I was almost done. He was needing somebody pretty quick. I think he had somebody hopping off the truck, and he was going to find somebody to drive it for a month until me and my dad were able to team on it. So at this point, I'm done. I will be going to Springfield tomorrow to get on the truck. I had planned to team with the guy that is currently on the truck. But he actually had something come up today. He's having a family emergency at home. I really feel for the guy. It really stinks. It sounds like he's kind of getting jerked around as far as information goes, but he's got to get back to the East Coast where he's from. He's currently on a load in Nebraska somewhere, and he's still a ways out, so he's probably not going to be able to get to Springfield until tomorrow. So I have the rest of the day. I'm already pretty much packed up. There's just a few tiny loose ends I got to get together, but I could be packed and dressed and out of here in 30 minutes and heading towards Springfield, which is only 2.5 hours away. So, but yeah, he's got to get back to the East Coast. We don't know if he's going to fly out from Springfield or if I'm going to need to find a load back to the East Coast to get him there. I can't imagine what he's thinking right now, just knowing what he knows. So I really feel for the guy. But at that point, instead of teaming, I will be going solo until my dad finishes up his miles. He is on the East Coast right now, the southern part, headed up toward the northeast. And when he finishes that load, he will be at about 18,000 miles. And they're projecting that, well, he's projecting just based on how they've run already, that he should be done the week of the 17th, I believe, and that's even his late estimate. So at that point, I know he's going to take a little home time and then do the upgrade process. So I will have about 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks out on the road by myself, learning a lot of things the hard way with no real physical backup in the seat beside me or in the sleeper berth and back. So all kinds of feelings about that. I'm excited. I'm dreading it. I'm scared, nervous, all that. But, you know, I'm in a pretty privileged position for this to be my worries in life, you know, wondering if I'm going to be a good truck driver. And I'm sure it'll all come together. There's always growing pains, but there's so many people that have it worse than me in the world that get through some pretty crazy situations and don't have to not worry, but don't get the privilege of worrying about the things I'm worrying about right now. So I'm really trying to keep everything in perspective and know that I'm blessed to be in the situation that I'm in. So past that, after I got done with I know I'm all over the place. This is just, I meander. You guys know this by now. I'm 14 minutes in, and how much have I really told you? Anyway, after the CPA class, they just kind of tell you about, you know, running a business and how taxes work and stuff like that. I probably didn't need to be in that class, but it was good to know, even if a lot of it went over my head. I've never been one for being an expert on taxes or running a business, so it was some interesting information to get into my head regardless. Like I said, you go back, knock out the CBTs, finished all that up at the campus inn. Then once you finish all your CBTs and all your classes, you message an email address at Prime telling, you know, your name, your driver code, your fleet manager, And that's when they start the final upgrade process of making you an A seat. So you just kind of sit around and wait for those emails to come together and let them know what's going on. And at that point, I had worked it out with the guy who owns the truck to go ahead and just pick me up after Christmas. The driver was going to be taking some home time on the East Coast, and I didn't really. At first, I felt comfortable running solo for a couple days while my co-driver would have taken some home time, but with how much I'd been out on the road already and just how quickly things had changed in a matter of 48 hours as far as, me going to upgrade and getting my dad on my trainer's truck, I just needed to take some time, and I wanted to be home for Christmas. I was fully expecting not to do it, but uh, I think it was needed. It was nice being home I've been home since, it is the 29th today. I have been home since last Wednesday morning. So I've been home for a week, and it's been very nice catching up on some sleep in a bed that's not racking back and forth with an APU behind it blaring at you, which I never really had a problem with, but the quiet is very nice. But yeah, I'm just gonna get on the truck tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna have to leave late. I think he said he's doing a drop and hook about midnight tonight, and he's probably a little ways into Nebraska, so he's gonna be a little ways from Springfield. So I imagine I'm just gonna be leaving early tomorrow morning and figuring out whether he's catching a plane or if I'm driving him out to the East Coast. Sorry, got out of frame there, got all small. Past that, I really don't know. We ran kind of all over the country. Our last load was from Medford, Oregon to Lenexa, Kansas. They wanted us to go down through Barstow and Albuquerque, per the customer's wishes. But I guess Mount Shasta in California, is it California? I don't know if Mount Shasta is in Oregon or California. I'm just going off what my trainer said. But they were like projecting 3 or 4 feet of snow, and they had already closed down the highway down south through California. So we had to take up through Oregon, corner of Washington, top part of Idaho, through Montana, through a bit of Wyoming and South Dakota, and then down through Nebraska to Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. So that was a long load, and I'd been driving nights, so there are a couple spots, especially in Montana and Wyoming, that a little scary. Some downward grades, and not being able to use Jake brake or anything like that. So that really kind of clued me into how that stuff works. And if it got any worse than what I dealt with, then that's probably the time to get off the road. But my girlfriend, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'll take a picture of it and show it at the end of the video. But my girlfriend made a big map of where I had gone everywhere in the U.S. And I hit just about everywhere except the North Dakota. I haven't hit that primarily because, from what I understand on the internet, it doesn't exist. And then, and then she got all my loads and all that. But there's a few, like I haven't hit Maine or Vermont, just a few northeastern states. But everywhere else, I have dipped my toe in somewhere. Even a little bit into Minnesota there. But yeah, I'll take a picture of it for the end of the video. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the upgrade process or TNT or orientation or anything, those first key couple months at Prime, please don't be afraid to leave a comment. I'll do my best to respond. I try to respond to everybody in the comments, even if it's just, like a, hey, good luck out there. I appreciate everybody commenting on my stuff and, just watching. I'm not looking to become like a big YouTube star or anything, but I just want to help people out. I've said it before. I just, we live in a very interesting time where before you go and join a company, especially something like Prime, where there's so many drivers out there that have YouTube channels and are able to share their experiences. It's really important to use this resource that we have to know what you're getting into. I saw so many people in orientation and upgrade that, a lot of this information was new to them. And it's so frustrating to see people who know that they're going to go do something. They're going to leave home to go train to get on a truck and drive around the country, and they're not going to do virtually any research about it on YouTube or anywhere. And it's just so many people went in cold, and I can't imagine living like that, just knowing you're going to do something like that and not doing any research about it. We have all these resources at our hands, and it just kind of blew my mind. I kind of went in knowing a lot. My dad knew so much more than me. He sat there for a couple months researching all this stuff, and approached me about it, and I started looking into it, and watching Driver Lineup and Travis Kinley and a couple others, and just seeing how they operate. Tim Travels, he's really good. Maybe not. I mean, he's definitely got some trucking information, but he's got some other entertaining stuff going on. Got a very dry sense of humor, and I appreciate his outlook in the trucking industry, because there seems to be a common certain thread in trucking that's kind of a one lane train of thought, so to speak, and he's kind of an interesting different voice in the trucking community. So I appreciate his input in his videos a lot. So yeah, if you're going to come to Prime, please don't just watch my videos. Go to Driver Lineup. Eric and Jenna, they talk a lot about whether just the idea of going lease, what you do to go lease, the freight lanes, all kinds of stuff. Junior Honduras, he's very informative. He made a video about what to expect with trainers and trainees on trucks, and what both need to learn, and what one needs to teach and what one needs to learn before they get off that truck. And there are just so many resources out there. So please, before you make this decision to come to Prime, don't set yourself up for failure. Know what you're getting into, because I mean, this is a completely different lifestyle. It's you don't have a lot of control out here with the itinerary, with the weather, with the traffic, with a variety of things. Things change at a moment's notice out here, and you really got to learn to fly by the seat of your pants, and you just got to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to make it out here. There are certain pressures you're going to have to withstand, and please do not take this decision lightly. But I think if you can handle this lifestyle, and you can self-manage and manage your time. If you have problems being late everywhere, don't bother coming to Prime. If you have trouble with road rage, if you have trouble containing your emotions and let them get out of hand, don't come to Prime. Or do, and let this thing be the thing that teaches you. I would suggest not letting this be the thing that teaches you, because you have a huge weapon at your hands, and in your hands, that can hurt a lot of people. And I mean, you kind of need to come in this a bit emotionally grounded. Not that I'm the most emotionally grounded person out there, but I think already, just since I joined in, what was it, October, I feel like I've matured in a variety of ways and just become a lot more responsible. So, yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out. If you have found this stuff informative and you want to use my driver code as or a referral, use my driver code as a referral. It's CADAAR, CADAAR. So help me out with that. I'd truly appreciate it. If not, whatever. Just enjoy the videos, like, comment, subscribe, all that. I will try and pump out a couple more videos. It's been so tough running on a team truck and being able to film a video and then edit it in the back when you're bouncing around. It's virtually impossible, and it's tiring out there running a team truck. You do not get the sleep that you get sleeping in a truck stop, in a still truck. It really depends on what state you're in. What is it, like Ohio is one of my favorite states to drive through. It's so funny. Like, you hit the border of Indiana and Ohio. Indiana's roads are so crap and bouncy and nasty, and the minute you hit that border, you can even see how clear those roads are ahead. And it's like anything with a tollway is pretty nice. Northbound and southbound into Florida in 90? I forget which, 75? I forget which one it is. You spend a lot of time out there, all the highways kind of blend together. You kind of have vague ideas of what they are, but you get away from them and they all kind of just blend together. But there are certain states that are great to drive through. Louisiana, complete garbage. Good luck getting any sleep in the back during that. Especially, yeah, the wintry stuff. Anywhere that gets winter weather or, you know, flood plains or stuff like that, the roads are garbage. So I tried to grab whatever sleep that I could. So it was really tough getting done with a shift and deciding, do I want to make a video? Most of the time, as you can see, 100% of the time after I got into TNT, I did not want to make a video. I did not want to sit in the back of a bouncing truck and make a video and then edit it and then figure out where I was and if the connection was going to be good enough and attempt to upload it. It was just a pain. So I will be here in the next couple days. I'll probably be running team to get my co-driver back to the East Coast, and then I don't know what is in store for his future or what his plans are. I don't know about his family situation at home, but from what I understand, I'll be running solo from the way the fleet operator said until my dad gets done with his miles. So I'll be out on my own for what appears to be, today's the 29th, so the 5th, 12th, 19th, I'll be out there for probably 3.5 weeks on my own, figuring out a lot of stuff the hard way. Luckily, my old trainer said I can call him if I need anything, have any questions about anything. On the driver lineup Discord, which, you know, there's all kinds of people asking questions on there. I have a resource there. There's the Primetime Grinders Facebook page. There's the PSD and TNT students Facebook group. There's several resources, you know, even communicating with my fleet manager and road assist and a variety of people that can help me out. So it's just a matter of reaching out to people and seeing what you can get. It's the internet. You're always going to get some sarcastic, snotty people, but if you can parse those replies and get to the meat of it, you'll get some good answers. There's a lot of experienced people out there that are more than willing to help you. So I'm excited, very nervous. I'm sure it's going to be tough for me to sleep tonight, just knowing what's ahead, but really need to focus on getting that sleep because I'm sure the next couple weeks are going to be pretty intense. So I haven't done any backing by myself. My trainer was pretty consistent on, even when he was sleeping, when I was getting to a shipper or receiver, getting out of the truck and helping me into the spot. And I get where he was coming from. I know he wanted me to learn, but also I was driving his leased truck and he didn't want anything bad to happen to it or somebody else, and I totally get that. But from this point on, I'm going to have a lot of pull-ups and get out and looks, and I'll have to bring some extra bags of popcorn for the other truckers at the truck stop so they can watch me and be properly sated with food and drink and whatnot, and give them some good entertainment. So I'm excited. Had a nice week at home. Got to see some friends and hang out, and I've made friends with my upstairs neighbor. There was a gal who lived up there, and then she started dating this guy. Me and him have just become bros. We went to IKEA yesterday, helped him get some entertainment center stuff, and hung out with him and got some stuff together. It was up till about 1:30. Had a few drinks and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. But it's looking like it's back to it now. So I will try and keep you guys updated on the good things happening, the bad things happening out on the road. You know, I'll be bedding down at truck stops at the end of the night, so that should give me time to shoot a video and edit it and upload it. So I will try and be more disciplined about that. And please reach out if you have any questions. All right, guys, drive safe out there. Be safe. Have a good one.